Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly like the air had rules you didn't learn? Like you were too much, or like your presence need translation? Welcome to AIAIAI, Fernand Rock's podcast. I'm Fernand Rock, and this is a show for anyone who ever been labeled other or secretly feared they might be, because alien isn't just sci-fi word. Sometimes it's a taste, that icky feeling when something unfamiliar makes your stomach turn. Sometimes it's a legal ghost, a category that decides who belongs and who doesn't. Sometimes it's botany. A beautiful species invades a garden and quietly raises the locals. Sometimes it's a mirror that is no alien without us. Sometimes it's alienation. The moment you become a stranger to your own mind, your own body, your own story. And sometimes it's a cold mathematical truth in an infinite universe. Other. It's not rare, it's inevitable. In this podcast, we take the word alien and turn it like a prism through language, law, psychology, culture, science fiction, even theology, until what scares us becomes something we can finally understand, maybe even befriend. Which brings me to a special interview series inside III, my invisible alien friend, a conversation space where the alien isn't a monster from space. It's the unseen presence that follows you through your day, your fear, your past, your desire, your coping, your genius. And we met it gently until it stops running the show. So take a breath, stay curious, and let's begin.
Hi, or I am an alien interactions with Fernand Rock, AIAI podcast.
My invisible alien friend.
Today we're joined by a visionary filmmaker who is redefining storytelling in the Pacific Northwest. Representing Seattle, she is a proud Black American and Native American artist of the Nanticoke Lenni Lenape people. Her work is a powerful intersection of culture, heritage, and cinematic craft. Please welcome the incredible Tony Poe.
Well, thanks for having me today.
Of course.
You know?
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good. A lot of things happening in life, some trying things, but it's a matter of, I guess, perspective, how you deal with things,
Yes, I understand. And it's, I don't receive so much people in my house, so it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Thank you for coming all the way to my house, to my home. You're a friend.
Of course.
And I would like to start asking you, what makes you feel at home?
I think for me, feeling at home is you feel safe. You feel safe with your thoughts. You feel safe with your feelings. It's just a place to just be you, not worry about anything else going on in the world, and be able to relax and just take time for yourself. I think those things are important. And I don't know, I think they're just very special because it's individual for everyone, what that might look like for you. I think it's important to consider those things. I think that's what home means to me.
That's beautiful. Tony, Can you talk a little bit about yourself, about your experience, where you're coming from, to share with our audience? Just share with us a little bit about where is Tony's home.
So now my home is Seattle, by way of Delaware and Maryland. Those are the places that I grew up. So those are like my home base. And I feel like when you're in certain places, you make things your home. And I've made just a beautiful home for myself here, where I am. And I think that, I don't know, I think it was a catharsis of sorts, moving all the way from the other coast to this coast. It took a lot of thought. It took a lot of courage to come from there to here. And I think that that's a similar experience for lots of people that leave where they were born, leave where they grew up, to come to something new, to make a change in life, make their lives better. And I think that is, I don't know, it's just very important. I think that it's very important that we do those things. So I grew up with a couple of siblings, and that was really cool. I think that as far as my upbringing, the element of home that was that for me was parental love and parental support, and even support from my grandparents and, the community. We were a very diverse community, but we were a country community. So there were, there were a lot of different things that we wanted to explore. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a part of home that the home that lives in myself, is the willingness to explore different things. I think that's healthy. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were not exploring a lot of outside areas, but I was always inquisitive, like my brother and sister. And I think it's healthy to have questions, I don't know.
You mentioned about this inner home that you have. Can you elaborate a little bit more about how come this home manifests in your daily life? Like, do you bring your home with you wherever you go? How that feels?
Yes, I think we do bring our home wherever we go. And I think that every experience that we have, it kind of adds to that. We take often the best parts, hopefully, of things that we go through, and that has kind of like a seat within ourselves, if that makes sense. And it like just foundation? Yes, like a foundation, and everything we experience, a little bit of that goes into us. Mm-hmm. Like we're a sum of all the things that kind of we've been through, the things that like the friends that we've met. They take a little piece of us on the inside too. They live inside of us as well. And I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful relationship to have with yourself, that you allow things in. Yeah. A lot of us, when we're experiencing things, sometimes we don't think about it at the time, but it's still making a home within us. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And what makes you, have you ever left that home? How would be you living your inner home? How that would look like?
So when you leave your inner home, I think it's because you're engaging yourself in different situations, different experiences. And so for those moments, your home is always there. You know it's there in the back of your mind. But that's where that exploration part comes in, or that openness part comes in, because you're observing things that are around you. And you're not thinking, oh, I'm making an experience. You're not thinking that. You're just feeling. You're just going with the flow. Flow is important. And I think, so I think that you leave your inner home in that sense, but you know it's there. That's the kind of the great part about home, because you know it's always there. You know your foundation is there. And even things that would maybe affect you outside that are not so great, you know that there's still home there. You can still go back there, and you can still think the good thoughts, and you can still let them affect you in the way that you do at that, or the way that you need at that time. And you look for more to add to yourself to make your home even stronger. I think that's important.
So you never felt like you lost your home?
Sometimes when you're in a place of self-discovery, you may abandon the thought that your home is strong enough, or that your foundation is strong enough, and something may be shaking it or anything like that. And you might feel temporarily like nervous or not so excited about leaving that comfort zone that's within yourself. But I think that when you are at the end of whatever portion of your experience, you start to ruminate on that. You think about it, and you actually are getting something out of that experience. Even if the experience is not the best, you're taking the best lessons from that experience that you can take. And you're incorporating that, and you're making yourself even stronger. Just a thought.
Do you remember what you want to be when you were a kid? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes. So I first wanted to be an architect, and I've always been an artist. So
what do you do as an artist?
So I engage in multimedia art, making jewelry, things like this.
Oh, beautiful.
And I do painting, drawing.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
Yeah, it fills so much space inside me, like just creating happiness, which is, I don't know, it's just healing. And I also I used to play piano. I don't much anymore, except just for making children's book, like music to go with narration for children's books. So I do that, and I act and all that stuff, all that jazz. I just love being in the creative space. So.
And what this creative space has in common with your idea of home?
It makes me feel like I'm surrounded by things that I've chosen to love, or things that I feel attract me. And it feels like when I'm engaging in art, it feels like a part of me is fulfilled. If there are holes that happen in life, and that does happen to everyone, I usually try to reach out and eventually replace those holes with something creative, or helping someone do something that they're wanting to do. I feel like that all of those things that we let encircle us, or that we reach out to, those are different things that eventually represent home. It's somewhere where you feel comfortable. Yeah, I think those are the things about artistic, like creation and things like that being a part of the home, that you're creating for yourself. It's a safe space. It's something that's going to utilize the best parts of you. Sometimes the happiest parts, sometimes the not so happy parts, but you're expressing, you're getting it out. That's important.
Yeah, I wonder, what would it be to live without this power of creating and manifesting things into your reality. So when you're not feeling so creative, what do you used to do to keep yourself in this safe space where you feel at home?
I guess that presents itself differently depending on whatever situation it is. I think that in those times, that's when, me personally, I lean on gratitude for the things that are still in a safe space, the things that are going right, even though it may not be right in my immediate space.
Mm.
I know that there are others that are being blessed in their own way, and that certain people are safe, certain people are thriving, things like that. Empathy. I think that's important too,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously no one's going through the same thing at the same time in life. I think it's important to, I don't know. I think all those things they like kind of come together.
How is empathy
Yeah.
present in your life? Do you remember any moment that you feel compelled to show your empathy to somebody else in your life? Like,
That's a daily thing. Anytime you come across someone,
mm-hmm.
if you see someone needs help, you can feel that they're in need of something because you've been in need before. Why not reach out and help them, or reach out and talk to them, or, all of us are human. So I think that empathy is like an everyday thing. It could be something small, like helping someone pick something up. You realize that they're disabled. You pick it up for them.
Mm-hmm.
It could be someone that's just sitting there, just like pondering, like you can see their expression. You've had that expression in your life. They're at maybe a point of confusion, or you say, if they're at a point of confusion, you can say, oh, is there something I can do to help you? There are so many little things that people can do that it's within our power to do. Just reach out. Just say hello. Just talk to them. It takes 2 seconds to say hello to someone, and that might change their whole day. That might change their whole pattern of thinking. Because some people are, well, like me, I'm sort of an introverted person. So I am. Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
People don't think so,
Yeah.
but I'm the kind of person that I have been taught to be extroverted when I need to be. Mm-hmm. But when I'm done with all that, especially being like an actor and all that thing, mm-hmm. when I'm done with that, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to put music. I'm ready to breathe. I'm ready to relax and recharge.
I couldn't relate enough with that because as an actor as well, I'm an introvert as well. So I used to be a very shy kid, mm-hmm. and theater was what helped me to, mm-hmm. get out of my shell. Mm-hmm. So I understand. Mm-hmm. I can relate with
mm-hmm.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
And let's just talk a little bit about that experience as an actor. You are doing a project right now, right?
Yes.
You're about to finish your first movie.
Yes. I'm so excited about that.
Yes. Do you want to talk a little bit?
Sure. So the inspiration for this film, first of all, it came from personal experience with several deaths that I had in my family, in my close family. Within the period of a year, we lost 5 people. So one was my cousin that was my dad's best friend. They were cousins, but they're best friends. That's represented in the film. And then my father passed soon after her. And then my grandma went soon after him. 5 months later than he did. Then her brother passed, and then someone else passed. And I'm just like, that goes back to the introvert part. I wasn't a person that necessarily would reach out for help. I would just try to internalize it, and try to figure it out. And sometimes that's the answer and you can figure things out. Sometimes it's not the answer and you need a little help. And the thing is, in recognizing that, that gave me kind of the catalyst to make the film. So that became the catalyst for me thinking of, to make this film, because there's different ways that people deal with grief. And someone's way might not look like someone else's. Someone wants to maybe party, get it all out, and do that. Other people, they just want to just chill with someone, just like, no, you don't even have to talk, but they're there. And, sometimes we process it that way. And then what did I do? I kind of processed it kind of on my own at first. And then I said, yeah, I'm going to just kind of like reach out and, do that. So, obviously my siblings were there. They were going through the same thing. But they process things different than I do too. So, it's kind of like finding a balance. Like I don't want to go party, because I'm not even a party person anyway. So that's not going to necessarily help me. It may distract me for a while. That's great. But I find that the close, intimate conversations are the most powerful for me. Might not be as, so much for someone else, but, and then the inner dialogue and then the connection with spirit to, kind of work things out. And I think those are helpful for me. So my character in the film embodies some of that. Yeah. So I think that was it. So it's her process of going through this grief. She's had an unimaginable loss, and it's just her working through it. It's like a slice of life for her, and it goes through her day. With people reacting and responding, and how she deals with it. So. Yeah.
When the film is coming out, do you have a?
No, I don't. I am self-editing. So I'm in that process now, and then I do have some music from my son, because he's a producer as well. So yeah, and then I'll be composing the rest of the music, like the score. I'll be doing the score.
Wow.
So it's going to be a little while. But I don't want it to stretch out to like a whole year.
Do you have a title?
It's called Things Happen.
Things Happen.
Because they do. And sometimes they're out of our control.
Yeah.
But they happen and we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it. In our own way. Yeah.
It's such a powerful story, inspired in your personal experience with all these losses in your family, all this grief. How did that affect the feeling of in your home that you were describing before? What would you say you need to hold on to? To pass through all of this experience at once?
I think that you have so many memories when something like that happens. You have some of the best memories. I feel like we tend to hold on to the best of the memories at the time, even though that might not have been the whole experience. It's, like when the person was living or something like that. But I got so many lessons from all of them in life. And I thought about the relationship to self. I thought about things that I was doing in my life that might affect an outcome. Like not loving myself enough, overextending when it's hurting me to do so. But doing so because of my tendency even as a child, to people please.
Oh,
Which also comes from some trauma, but I think it makes you reflect.
mhm.
And in that process, you're grateful for that reflection, even though you're hurting. And obviously, us as humans, we're selfish. We want them to be with us forever.
So what I'm getting is it puts you in a reflection moment, like some kind of pause
Mhm.
in everything, like still in a kind of a limbo for a moment,
Yes.
but life still going, right?
Yes.
You still need to deal with your daily life, little problems or things that comes up, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
What did you do, and what would you suggest in these situations? That there's something you did for yourself, like any rituals or something that works for you?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
share with us?
Yes. So I will say that one of the most natural things that I did for myself was go to the water.
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 So connect with nature.
Connect with nature. Just be quiet.
Mhm.
Listen to all the things around you, and not even for the sake of contemplation, because what you're trying to do is kind of break that a little bit.
Mhm.
Just sit. Just be there. Just listen to the water. Just listen to the birds. Let that feeling just wash over you and just become a part of it. You know?
Ground.
Yes, grounding. hmm Kick your shoes off.
Yeah.
Feel those rocks under your feet. Feel that sand between your toes. There's a bird right there. Just be one with everything.
Mhm.
Let yourself go. Let yourself not force yourself to think about something. Think about something that's troubling you. Just be. Don't expect anything. Just be there. I think that's the best thing.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you have any other thoughts that you would share with our audience that maybe it's experienced this feeling of not having enough home, in this sense of the inner home that, as you described, is composed by your loved ones, people that you care and care for you, that shows some kind of empathy, and also this earth home, right? This beautiful planet that we live and that makes us feel connected when we have a chance to ground ourselves with nature. There is anything else like related to your inner space, right? Not just relate to the outside world, but something you did to yourself that was very helpful, and you would recommend to our audience to do, like a breathing exercise or something.
Yes.
That you can bring all of this home back to you in a easy ritual that don't require you to go distance, or relying in another person that will show you that kind of compassion or empathy.
So I think, and as I was thinking about sitting by the water, those are moments that you reflect on. What I would do is, at the end of the day, or whenever I needed it, really, I would just lay down, just close my eyes. And there is a breathing method called the 4-7-8 method. And I don't necessarily remember when I first heard about it, but I said, I'm going to try this. I'm feeling really anxious and I don't know why. And I got to figure this out. So what you do is you just breathe in for the count of 4. Hold your breath for 7, the count of 7, and then slowly exhale for the count of 8. And you do that quite a few times, maybe 5 times or so. But the thing of it is that it calms the parasympathetic nervous system. And that was very helpful for me when I was overthinking. I tend to be an overthinker because I'm in my head a lot sometimes.
Same here.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I think I do that. And then I think about in other times, what are 2 or 3 things that I'm just thankful for? Because I know that there will be another happening in my life or another universal force or something that's going to say, here's another blessing for you. I know that's going to come. Nothing bad lasts forever. So it's going to come at some point, and I think about the things that I can reflect on that I'm grateful for, you know? Like I'm grateful to have breath in my body. I am grateful that I can sense when I'm in an environment that's like loving. And I have the lessons to know when that's not the case, then I need to go and be in a safe space in my brain and, you know, like sometimes physically. Those are things that are very helpful that work with like the center of yourself so you can center yourself.
Well, you know, sometimes we need to realize we're not okay, but keep moving forward, right? So I experienced something like that lately, and I'm really trying to be the bravest as I can.
Takes a lot. I know that you've had a lot of brave moments in your life before.
Oh yes. Thank you for acknowledging.
With your transition and, you know, just moving in a better direction for a better life.
Yeah.
I think that's something I've experienced too.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
Life is a journey. And sometimes we don't expect to go so out of course. You know, like so unexpectedly having these scary moments, you know, moments of revelations and tests that we pass in life.
Yeah.
Can we end this inspiring conversation with some nuggets of wisdom about freedom, about, you know, feeling in peace with yourself and your inner home?
So I would say that number one, when you think of freedom, sometimes it's not from the outside that you're feeling the freedom. You feel it from the inside, which is your home. Sometimes we don't have the space that we're feeling free, you know, wherever we are in whatever space. But you can always dig deep down inside yourself, you know, and know that there's a piece in there that nobody can take away because it's part of what you've built for yourself and within yourself and surrounded yourself with by means of taking your experience, which makes it a whole collective experience going into you. That gives you peace. And it gives you peace knowing that no matter what anyone does around you, that doesn't determine necessarily who you are. It's what you take that can ultimately determine who you are and how you react to things, as well as how you don't react to things. Is being able to cry, and it's okay. It's a part of you. You envelop you take all the dark parts, and you make them a part of you, but they don't control you. You don't let them control you.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say that. I think that's ultimate peace. Because everything around you is going to be what it is. But it's how you are and how you are within that home in yourself. Even though sometimes it may be a little shaky, there may be a little earthquake. It's about holding on to that core. And that's it. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for this, to share so much wisdom with us.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being my home. Mi casa, su casa.
Igualmente.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you.